Apple put a mechanical aperture inside a phone, not a filter, not a software simulation, a real physical aperture, the kind you find on cameras that cost $3,000. That's one of 11 things I need to tell you about the iPhone 18 Pro. And there's something else on this list that genuinely caught me off guard, a feature that makes your phone useful in places where right now it's basically a very expensive brick. We'll get there. 4 months from launch, here's everything credible we actually know. Hook version B, picture this. You're in a desert, no towers, no Wi-Fi, nothing. And your iPhone 18 Pro Max connects to the internet anyway. That's not science fiction. That's one of 11 leaks for this phone. And honestly, it might not even be the most interesting one because there's something coming to the main camera on the iPhone 18 Pro that no iPhone has ever had. And once I explain what it is, you're going to look at every iPhone photo you've ever taken completely differently. That's coming, but we've got 11 things to get through because some of these are going to surprise you more than others. The iPhone 18 Pro and iPhone 18 Pro Max are roughly 4 months away. And the leaks this cycle have been unusually consistent, which either means Apple's supply chain has completely lost control or they're doing it on purpose. I've gone through everything credible that's surfaced so far. 11 leaks and rumors worth actually talking about. Some are design, some are hardware, and one is a feature that's been on professional cameras for decades and is finally making it to your pocket. Let's go. Leak number one, colors. Apple are returning to 4 colors for the Pro lineup, which after recent years is genuinely a relief to hear. Here's what we know. Only one color from the iPhone 17 Pro range survives. Silver. Everything else is being replaced. We're getting black back, most likely space black. We're getting a new blue, and we're getting a dark cherry. Dark cherry. I genuinely cannot tell if that sounds premium or like a lip gloss shade, but looking at the dummy unit leaks, it actually looks good. The real question is whether Apple executes it in titanium the way they did with the deep purple a few years back. If they do, it's a standout. If they don't, we'll all pretend we weren't excited. Leak number 2, design. Same overall shape as the iPhone 17 Pro, but slightly thicker and noticeably heavier. We're talking potentially over 240 grams for the Pro Max, which would make this the heaviest iPhone Pro since the iPhone 14 lineup. Nobody asked for a heavier phone, I know, but here's the thing. The thickness is almost certainly there to house a bigger battery, and a slightly heavier phone that lasts 2 days is a better trade-off than a thin phone dying at 4 in the afternoon. Most people would make that trade without hesitation. They just don't want to admit it until they're the ones still standing at the end of the day while everyone else is hunting for an outlet. Leak number 3, the display. We're getting LTPO Plus, a new generation of screen technology that is more efficient and meaningfully better in direct sunlight than anything on the 17 Pro right now. Both of those things matter. The sunlight improvement means you'll actually be able to read your screen outside without doing that hand visor move that makes you look like you're saluting the sun. And the efficiency gain feeds directly into battery life, which we'll get to in a moment because a screen that draws less power all day compounds in a way that raw milliamp numbers can't show you. Leak number 4, the dynamic island is getting smaller, about 1/3 smaller from what we've heard. Same pill shape, just compressed. Face ID components have shrunk enough that Apple can pull this off without changing the overall design language. For most people, this is a non-event dressed up as a headline, but if you've ever had the dynamic island eat into a video you were watching or a game you were playing, 1/3 smaller is genuinely noticeable. So worth mentioning. Moving on. Leak number 5, the back glass. Apple are updating the ceramic shield on the rear, more durable, different finish. And there is a rumor, emphasis on rumor, that it could be slightly translucent. I'll believe that one when I'm holding it. That particular leak has been circulating long enough that I've stopped getting excited about it. But the durability upgrade, that one shows up consistently across multiple sources. If they can make the back as resistant to scratching as the front glass has become, that's a real improvement people will notice after 6 months of use. Leak number 6, battery capacity 5,100 to 5,200 milliamp hours for the Pro Max, which sounds like barely an upgrade from the 17 Pro Max. And here is why that number is almost completely irrelevant to how the battery actually performs. Samsung's Galaxy S Ultra has had a 5,000 milliamp hour battery for about 5 consecutive generations. Battery life has improved meaningfully every single year. Same number, better result every time, because capacity is only one variable. When you combine even a modest capacity increase with the new LTPO Plus display, Apple's most efficient chip ever, and a custom modem doing less work than Qualcomm's, the total efficiency gain is considerably larger than the raw number suggests. This should be the best battery life ever on an iPhone Pro by a real margin, the kind of margin you actually feel on a long day. Leak number 7, the A20 Pro. This is Apple's first 2 nanometer process chip. What that means practically, smaller transistors, more of them, less heat, less power consumption per task. The A19 Pro was already fast enough that most people never hit its ceiling. The A20 Pro is going to make the A19 Pro look like it was working hard. More performance, better efficiency, lower operating temperatures. Those 3 things together are a large part of why I'm not worried about the battery capacity headline number. Leak number 8. And this one genuinely surprised me. Apple are reportedly putting their custom C2 or C2X communication chip into the iPhone 18 Pro for the first time. Previous Pro models ran Qualcomm modems. The standard iPhones got Apple's custom chip first. Now it's coming to the Pro lineup, and it brings something with it: satellite internet connectivity. Not just emergency SOS, actual internet access from satellite when there is zero cellular signal anywhere around you. Think about what that means. You're in a dead zone, no towers, no Wi-Fi, and your phone is still connected to the internet. You're not streaming 4K, but you can browse, you can message, you can stream music, you can exist online in a place where until now your phone was a very expensive flashlight. That is not a spec bump. That is a fundamental change to what a phone can do in the real world, and it will only get more capable as the satellite infrastructure scales. Leak number 9, the front camera, going from 18 megapixels, which we got with the 17 Pro, up to 24 megapixels. 1 year, one significant sensor jump. Most people don't think about their selfie camera until they're in bad light trying to get a photo that doesn't look terrible, and they fail. 24 megapixels with Apple's computational photography engine behind it means those photos, and the ones in the lobby, the ones at dinner, the ones you actually care about, look noticeably better. It also means more headroom for cropping without losing quality. Underrated upgrade, people will notice it without knowing why, which is basically how Apple prefers it. Leak number 10, and this is the one I've been building toward. The main camera on the iPhone 18 Pro is reportedly getting a variable aperture. Let me explain exactly why that matters. Every iPhone camera, from the iPhone 7 dual camera setup all the way to right now, uses a fixed aperture. The lens opening never physically changes. All the depth of field, all the background blur, all the light control, done entirely in software. A variable aperture means the physical lens opening can change mechanically, like a DSLR, like a mirrorless camera, like cameras that photographers spend thousands of dollars on. In bright sunlight, the aperture closes down. No more overexposed shots, no more blown out skies behind someone's face. In low light, it opens up. More real light hitting the sensor, less noise, cleaner images, without software trying to patch what physics missed. And for portrait photography, actual optical depth of field control. The background blur is not simulated, it is real. This is the kind of upgrade that does not show up in a spec sheet side by side, it shows up in the photos themselves. And once you see the difference between optical and computational depth of field, you cannot unsee it. Leak number 11, the camera control button. It's being redesigned, simplified. And here is the context that nobody in the coverage cycle seems to mention. The current camera control button is one of the most expensive individual components on the phone to repair. Over $200 to replace one button. Apple are redesigning it. Simpler to manufacture, cheaper to repair, and with new functionality built in to make it more useful going forward. I'll be honest. I respect the admission that something was overcomplicated and expensive and needs fixing. That kind of design honesty does not happen often enough. 11 leaks. 4 months out, here's the honest take. This is shaping up to be the most complete Pro upgrade Apple has put together in a while, not because any one thing is revolutionary on its own, but because almost every layer of the phone is getting a meaningful improvement at the same time. Better colors, a thicker body that actually earns its weight with real battery gains, a display that is more efficient and more visible in the sun, a dynamic island that stops getting in the way, improved back glass, battery life that should outrun its numbers, Apple's most efficient chip ever, a custom modem with satellite internet, a 24 megapixel front camera, a physically variable aperture main sensor, and a button that costs less than a car payment to fix. The thing I keep coming back to is the variable aperture. If it performs the way the leaks suggest and the sourcing has been consistent, this changes what iPhone photography actually is. Not incrementally, categorically. Whether that's enough to justify upgrading from the 17 Pro is a question I'll answer properly once I've held it and used it in the real world. But right now, I'm paying close attention. Which one of these 11 leaks actually moved the needle for you? Drop it in the comments because I want to know if it's the one I think it is.